Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 867. I am your host, Matrixlord212. I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
Okay, so yesterday we heard that Star Wars Episode 8 may have a title of Forces of Destiny, which that's not definite, but I thought it was an interesting title, and you liked it, right?
I do, yeah.
Okay. And now comes word about Rogue One projections for box office numbers. So,
Right.
What do you have? What is it saying?
Well, I think all the things we're going to look at today are from Dark Horizons. So They're saying here that Rogue One could possibly have a $280 to $350 million worldwide opening, or it started out at $300 million, but then go to those two numbers between Wednesday and Sunday.
Okay.
Which
is possible.
I think it's possible. I don't think it's going to do that, but
I mean, if you look at like overseas, they can make hundreds of millions a week.
Right. My thing is, if the stuff that's in this movie that we talked about last night, if all that stuff is in there, I think that it's going to have a huge reaction from a lot of people. I certainly hope that stuff is in there. It seems like that stuff is in there. Seeing the soundtrack, the last song on the soundtrack being what it is, so seems pretty interesting.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Rebels. How many more episodes we got for Rebels?
I think there's one more tonight for now, and then the rest of the season is next year.
Is that the mid-season finale?
Yes.
Okay. Anything about what it's going to be about?
Yes, it's a Darth Maul heavy story, so I'm excited for it.
Okay.
It's a lot, apparently, and it has something to do with, in the episode, they keep saying, this is how we destroy the Sith. So.
Okay. What time does that go on?
That's 8:30.
Okay. Was there any other news? There was a few things, I think, right?
Yeah. Not Star Wars related, however, we do have stuff. What's here? Okay. So Tim Miller was kind of getting pissed off at people out there for the Deadpool 2 exit justification talk.
Yeah.
And let me just get the quote here.
A lot of people, they do these things, and they post stuff on Reddit, and they post stuff on Twitter and all the social media, and before you know it, shit gets out of hand, and the original story isn't the original story, and then people believe what they say is comments to be true, and I just guess he's done, right? And he just wants to justify some things?
Yeah. Basically, what he's saying here is, let me see.
You can't always believe what you read, I guess.
Yeah, he's just saying basically don't believe everything you read on there. This isn't really that great of an article, to tell you the truth.
Yeah. I mean, in a nutshell, I think he was even talking about the thing about cable casting wasn't true.
Right, yeah. It's basically creative stuff is what he's saying here.
And people had said that he wanted a monstrous budget and that he wanted to dramatically improve it. And he's saying he wanted to – because now the thing is that they're saying Ronald Reynolds wants to keep it the same as Deadpool 1, but he's saying no, he wanted to keep it the same caliber.
That's what he's saying here, yeah.
So maybe there's something else happening that we're not aware of or we should be privy to. But
this is what he said. This is part of his quote. The crew was so great. Everybody was going to come back, and we were going to have such a good time. And the idea that it was a difficult movie, it wasn't. It was a joy. It was the best experience of my life, and I wish them nothing but good. I hope it's great. I hope it's a great movie because I love the character, and I think it's great. I love all the actors, and I want to see them successful again. I haven't met David, but he's a great guy. I've heard. I want nothing but the best for the character and for Fox too. They deserve to make more money. They need to make more money. Laughs. They were great. They were terrific. So it doesn't sound like he went out on a bad note.
Yeah.
It sounds like he went out on like, I don't really want to do this, but another thing he said here, it was like, if you read the internet, who cares really? But for those of you who do, I wanted to make the same kind of movie that we made before because I think that's the right movie to make for the character. So don't believe what you read on the internet. I wanted to do the same thing as before, as the first movie. Kyle Chandler was not going to be Cable. All of this stuff that I read kind of kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I'm glad he clarified it, though.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there is stuff out there that, I mean, even Stephen Colbert made fun of. Like, people create situations that don't exist and stories that don't exist, like Pizzagate and all that other craziness. So out of nowhere, it's like, this is a different world we live in, where there's a lot of fake news and fake stuff out there. So you got to sift through the garbage, I guess. All right, so what else do we have?
This one is just quick, so I think we should talk about this one first because the other one we have is pretty big.
Yeah.
Of course, the next Fast and the Furious movie is called The Fate of the Furious, and they have a short little. Universal Pictures has a short little teaser for it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, go check that out.
I mean, I guess they're naming the Team Furious, right? Like
I
that's
guess,
them,
yeah.
I guess. And
Personally,
I like the title, actually.
Yeah, I personally have no interest in this series. I think it's kind of. I've seen a couple of them, and they do nothing for me.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I gotta say, I have not been with the series from the beginning. I'm a late bloomer. I saw the last two, I guess, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the last three? Two? I think the last two, and I really loved it. But I'll probably go back and watch the originals. But I do like. I am all for cool titles, and I like that title.
It's not a bad title. Yeah, not at all.
All right, what else?
All right, so the last thing we have here is a really big thing is about the Power Rangers movie.
Well, quickly before we do that,
sure.
It's very one sentence, two sentence thing. They're making, I guess, Puff the Magic Dragon.
Oh yeah.
From my childhood days.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with that. Okay, so go ahead.
Sure, but I actually read this one is from Dark Horizons, but I read another one that was a little more in depth before. Okay. Actually, shortly before you sent me.
Okay.
The link to do this cast.
So we're talking about Power Rangers, yeah.
Yeah, basically what the article and this article is about is the backstories for the characters, for the bigger characters in the movie.
Okay.
Like Rita and Zordon. So starting from the top, we'll talk about Rita first. It sounds like she was a former Ranger, specifically a former Green Ranger.
Oh.
That's what they're saying. That went rogue.
Oh.
Now, I know that people are going to have a problem with that. I don't really know why people are going to have a problem with that because her original story was that she was a witch that got trapped in a dumpster.
Right.
You can't really do much with that in a movie, so changing it, in my opinion, is a good idea.
I like the new...
Yeah, I think making her a new... Like, giving her a new backstory, giving her a new design, I think is necessary.
That's why she's green.
Yes.
Green Ranger. Yeah.
Yes, it makes sense to me. It might be a little on the nose with the whole green thing, but you know what? I really don't care. It's Power Rangers. Some things can be on the nose. It's fine.
I'm okay with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Zordon apparently was an original Red Ranger before he became the Zordon that we know. I guess he turns into energy in this movie, similar to how he was in Mighty Morphin all the way down through in space. So I know Bryan Cranston is playing him in this movie. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Zordon being a Ranger. I think that in the past they hinted that he was a Ranger in the show at one point.
Right.
He stopped being a Ranger, obviously. So I'm okay with that. I think it might be a little bit better if they say that him and Rita were a part of the same team.
I pretty much
team.
Sounds like it is.
Yeah.
That's why, yeah. I like that too. I'm okay with that too.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Talking about the Zords, from what I read, it said that they're going to be twice the size of the original Zords.
Oh.
That's going to be pretty big. That means the Megazord is probably going to be like 300-400 feet tall.
Wow.
Honestly, it's going to be big when it combines. Alpha apparently can like change his body to like into different shapes or something like that.
Maybe that's a good thing.
He could, yeah, hopefully.
That's the other thing looks like garbage, but okay.
Right. Now, the big thing that I read, and this is a rumor right now, so take all of this with a grain of salt, but
okay.
These two articles are matching up pretty well, and we like Dark Horizons, so I mean...
Yeah, I love Dark Horizons, yeah.
This isn't on Dark Horizons right here, but there was one thing that I read in the other article that really piqued my interest. It's actually two things. We know that Goldar is in this movie, and of course Goldar is like Rita's right-hand henchman kind of thing. Apparently he's going to be in this movie, and in order to apparently he was destroyed at one point getting this certain object that I think is going to be the focus of the movie. Rita is trying to bring him back to life. in this movie. And apparently she needs gold in order to do that. So I guess the first scene one of the first scenes with her in the movie is she's trying to get all of this gold from, I think, in Russia or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Rangers are normally picked by, like, I guess the planets that know about them, and they're usually trained and whatnot, and they're picked among billions of possible candidates, right?
Okay.
However, they're saying in this case, the situation is so dire that they just picked 5 Rangers very quickly. That's why they're teenagers and they're not who you would normally pick to be Rangers, right?
Right.
The object that Goldar was trying to get, apparently, is the Zeo crystal. Now, anybody who watched Power Rangers knows the Zeo crystal was the huge thing that transitioned them from Mighty Morphin into Power Rangers Zeo.
Right.
So the big thing about the Zeo crystal was it got more powerful as time went on. So the Rangers got more powerful as time went on, right? So I wonder now, are they going to do a Power Rangers Zeo movie if this movie does well? Is that going to be the sequel or maybe the third movie? Because I was
Third movie?
focusing on.
I mean, you think there's going to be multiple sequels?
I think they confirmed that they want to do at least 5 movies, I think.
5.
Or something like that.
Wow.
I remember reading an article saying that they want to do multiple Power Rangers movies. So I was thinking, okay, we have this one.
Right.
That's up the world. I was thinking maybe in the second one they introduced the Green Ranger.
Okay.
Dragon Zord and stuff with Rita's green power coin.
Okay.
Then the third one, I don't know, maybe the White Ranger. Maybe the Green Ranger's power fades at the end of the second one or something, and then they do the White Ranger.
Okay.
I guess maybe after that they could do Zeo. They could go right to Zeo or do that in the
there's a lot of stuff that they could do for multiple movies.
Yeah.
TV shows.
So, I'm not too upset with these.
I think it's a lot better than what we thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah.
Because originally we were making fun of it.
Oh, yeah.
And they even...
I remember saying all that this movie is going to suck. And then that trailer came out and it was like, oh.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the only thing that's come out that I really haven't liked about it is the way Alpha looks.
Yeah, that's the only thing with me, too. I think it looks like crap. But,
yeah, I can get over that. I mean, again, I remember us talking about 2 of the Zords having too many legs, but again, I can get over that.
Yeah. Hey, look, at first we thought Spider-Man Homecoming had all these problems, and we were thinking, oh, my God, what is it going to be? And then when we saw the trailer, I was happy with it completely.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I'm like, oh, I'm satisfied. It's in good hands. It's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Homecoming 2, July 5th, 2019. All right. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
All the way. The only thing I'm worried about, not even Power Rangers, Mummy. Because like I told you, I think it should be delayed. You think Kong should be delayed? I'm worried about the Mummy. Because I'm all for, I grew up on Frankenstein, Wolfman, all that stuff. I don't want to change the subject from Power Rangers, but I'm just saying,
that was it for Power Rangers.
Briefly, I grew up in all that stuff, so I would love to have a huge Universal Monsters cinematic universe. And if the first movie flops, all the other stuff is going to be like, oh, I think we should delay this 10 years, And I really don't want that. I want them to keep going, although I'm not really sure if that's with The Rock being the Wolfman. I know The Rock could do everything, but maybe he can't do everything, So, I mean, again, I want the Mummy to be successful. I hope they delay it. We'll see. Power Rangers I'm going to see. Spider-Man Homecoming I'm going to go see multiple times. I mean, that's basically that. And I can't wait for – well, tomorrow we're going to go see, I think, Christmas Office Party. But next week we're going to go see Rogue One, so I can't wait for that. So, all right.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Rogue One, especially with what came out, what we talked about last night. I'm really excited for Rogue One now. I'm unbelievably excited for it.
Let me know what happens on Rebels tonight, because I got to get into that show eventually. Maybe we'll do a cast later. All right, Chris, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.